Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but that fire's gonna be oh so delightful. Well, late December, I'm out on the range, and a recent commenter said, Mick, you're always showing these videos from this position, or any position, I guess it'd be a good argument here, with just a t-shirt on. What about people that live in the north? Well, this ain't Miami, okay? I grew up in Chicago area, about an hour northwest of Chicago, out in the country. Right now I'm just south of Lake Erie. And I guess the argument that he was trying to make is, you're showing this thing, but I can't do this thing because of the clothes I have to wear. A couple points. First of all, the video in question was not about cover garments. So when we just throw stuff out into the ether that is not in line with the conversation, it makes for poor conversation, really. So let's instead phrase arguments to help people communicate more effectively. Hey, saw the video you did on appendix carry. Can you make some points about cover garments? Sure, I'd love to. Check this out. If you're on a football team and you are a guy that's got to run a lot, do you think it would be advantageous to you as a football player to practice with the pads on, with the helmet, with all the gear that you have to wear out in the field as you're playing? Of course, caveat to that, you probably want to get good at proper form and technique before adding all of those things. So learn how to run properly and then go out and learn to do it. Another analogy is if you're a flatlander and you're going to go hunt, say in the mountains, high altitude stuff for elk or sheep or something, you're probably going to want to put a backpack on if you live in Iowa or Illinois and go tax yourself as much as possible doing hill climbs, doing stair climbs, etc. It's not going to be the same as altitude, but you've got to impose some demand if you want your body to adapt. So no, I'm not going to practice in my t-shirt if this is how I walk around. In fact, I'm going to practice. The old adage is, before you leave the house, after you get dressed, you're taking your gal on a date, you are doing your daily thing, and you've got some clothes on that are different than your normal clothes, go somewhere safe, unload the pistol. I've got an unloaded Glock 43 or 48 on me today, carried with a Tenacor holster or Tenacor belt in a Dark Star gear holster. I've got some TA target steel at about 11 yards right here, and I'm going to load her in a minute, but I'm going to dry run. So I would face a mirror or somewhere that it's safe to dry fire. If you got a blue gun, that would be perfect. And I'm going to work. If I've got a appendix pistol or a hip pistol or anywhere on my body, my goal is I've got to first clear the garments. So for me, I've got t-shirt on, I've got flannel on, I've got that big thick hoodie on, and then I've also got this nice Victos puffy jacket. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to practice. Easy access would be the fawns. Thumb up, come down, clear all the clothes straight up. You see that? Pistol up, and I can punch out. How do I go back to the holster? This was what the video was the other day. Is this position safe? Not how do I draw in winter clothes. Dick tip out and recover. Verify visually, is my holster clear? Is my trigger guard clear? Let me add something to that. Any body position should be advantageous for you. If some guy or girl says carry it here because it works great for me, if it doesn't work great for you, don't do it, right? Don't do it. I'm not advocating for anything other than this. Here is the number one thing that I advocate for. You and your family to never die in violence. You and your family to live a long, full life. I would love for your grandkids to sit by your coffin when you're 103 and say, Granddad or Grandma was awesome, right? Or your great-grandkids, because you didn't die in violence. I don't care what gun you use, what holster you use. I mean, I do want you to buy my friend's stuff because they make awesome things, but I don't care how you carry. I don't care what you do. Most of you folks and me will never meet. The only reason we produce this stuff is there's a passion in our hearts to help good people, as my friend Paul Sharp likes to say, be dangerous to bad people. So don't fixate on shit because it's not what you think. I drive a Ford, you drive a Chevy. Who cares, right? Oftentimes the arguments in this space are such a waste of both your life and mine and everybody else. I look at it and I wonder, I go, what's the real goal here? Are we actually on the internet trying to learn and develop ourselves, or are we just off pissing in the breeze so that we can be heard? It's like we're standing up on a hilltop just screaming into like the rain that's falling on me. What benefit is there? Back to the discussion. I've got to clear the gun, which means I don't grab here because look, I've still got garments over. Zip that back up. I've got to go to the base. I've got to go to the base. And I'm going to rip up, access, gun clears, join my hands, punch out. And I'm going to run these reps just like I would do it for real. Identify threat, clear, punch out. Trigger guards clear, holsters clear. The argument of shooting yourself in the femoral artery, you will not shoot yourself in the femoral artery if you have the correct holster and if you holster safely. You'll notice something that I've been doing for years. I don't believe I picked this up from anybody. It's how I started doing it because I don't like pointing guns at myself. I say dick tip or belt buckle to the breeze, depending on the company. Belt buckle to the breeze, and now look, that gun, if it went off right now, that round, which it's not going to go off because I've got a quality pistol, I've got my finger clear of the trigger, I've got a quality holster, and I'm looking it in slowly. But by pushing my pelvis forward into the holster is never going to be a problem. If you can't wrap your head around that, don't do it. I'm going to load this blaster up, and let's just try it on the timer a little bit. Man, I've been out here for a long time, and of course it has to get foul on us as soon as we start hitting the record button. Dang it, kids. Dang it. All right, let's load up. Lock the slide to the rear. A little bit of water on these mags. Cant the mag well inboard. Seat lock, tug, cycle, press check, tap, tap into battery. Trigger guards clear, visually, verbally. Holsters clear. And recover. Okay, I've got a piece of steel out here. Might as well just go right to the timer. All right, had to do a little ear pro adjustment here. So, got the timer on, got some steel at 11 yards, a piece of C-zone from TA Targets. We'll just run a few rounds here, make sure I've got all of my cover garments covering. Ooh, that gun is cold on my tummy. And I'll start with my hands up. Why don't we do that just so that we're adding a little bit more to it. Use this very defensive but relaxed posture. Sir, I don't want any trouble. Try that. Ready? Trigger guards clear, holsters clear. So that first shot was 1.64. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad for all these clothes. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. It's cold out here for you. This guy must be from Miami with this perfect olive skin. I'm just making a joke there. No, that's real. Here we go. Trigger guards clear. Holsters clear. 148. So, takeaways for us here. Don't just say stupid things on the internet because maybe you don't agree with the premise. First of all, in this situation, there was no premise related to the topic at hand. If you have something that works well for you, do that. That makes good sense. If you like salt and pepper on your frickin' ham and cheese omelet, do that. If you like to put syrup on there, do that. The topics that we're discussing here are practices that we have found based on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of hours of exposure. I don't think I know everything. In fact, I spend most of my free time trying to find better ways to do the things that we do. And when we find one, you know what we do? We adopt it and we share it with you for free in these platforms. But I would love if you came out to CarryTrainer.com, checked out some of the stuff that we sell. We've got awesome t-shirts. We've got Gunfighter gun oil products, which we produce here in the USA, top quality stuff. And I've got it over there hiding from the rain, some Ignis Lux coffee, which I roast myself with love. I hope that you guys are well. The real takeaway here is train with the gear that you live and work in. That's one of the premises of CarryTrainer. Years ago, if you go back to some of the first videos, you'll see me in a suit and tie, because I used to wear one all the time, training on the range. Train in the gear that you live and work in, whatever that might be. Second point, dress however you have to, but understand the limitations that might be presented by the clothing choices. Be well, don't be dickheads. Tell somebody you love them. If I don't see you before Christmas, I love you. And to all, a good night. Are you trying to find a gift for that special someone and just can't decide what to get? Well, I've got the perfect thing for you. Ignis Lux Coffee. Ignis Lux stands for firelight. It denotes that fire that burns in us all. And you can head over to ignislux.com. A couple minutes, get the coffee shipped every month right to that special someone. Or if you're a cheapskate, you can just buy one bag. Whatever. I roast this stuff myself for you with love. Life is short. My motto, drink excellent coffee. Bye now.